Hey, welcome back. So, this week I want to talk a little bit more about my general mindset on task management and Task Beacon, the app I've been working on, and just some of my, like I said, my mindset. Because, do you ever just feel like every task that's thrown at you is urgent? Like they're all just shouting for your attention? There used to be days I would look at my task list and it just felt buried by it. Like no matter what I picked, there was something I was missing, something else that I should be working on. It reminds me of something that Barry Schwartz talks about in his book, The Paradox of Choice. He found that the more options we have, the harder it is for us to make a decision, and the less satisfied we tend to be with whatever we pick. When we have only one choice in front of us, we may not like it, but we're more accepting of it. But when we're flooded with choices, we start to worry that we'll choose the wrong one. And that will drain us, and it actually makes us worse at deciding because we start to regret the decision before we even made it. And I feel like that happens with a lot of productivity and task management systems. Everything feels important, and so every option feels like a potential mistake. Are we really picking the most important thing to work on? And how do we know? So we hesitate, we second guess, and eventually, if you're anything like me, you probably pick something at random or something for all the wrong reasons. I don't think we realize how good we are at fooling ourselves. There were times where I would convince myself I was making progress just because I was busy. I would be checking off boxes on easy wins, thinking that that somehow made up for the fact that I wasn't actually working on the thing that mattered. And we can rationalize just about anything. I'll do quick ones to build momentum, or I'll get the hard one done after lunch, or oh, this one's important, except it's not, and no, it's not. And that's the trap, because when everything feels important, it becomes easy to hide behind the illusion of progress. We're busy, but we're not productive. We check boxes, we move tasks around, we look productive, but really we're just avoiding the hard stuff, the work that actually matters. And that's when I realized I didn't just need a better way to organize tasks. I needed a system that could cut through all this noise and something consistent that could automatically show me what needed to be done when I was being buried under too many options. Most task apps make this harder, not easier. They overwhelm you with lists, labels, instead of helping you focus on what matters. They treat all priorities as equal, which means that you can always rationalize doing something else. What I needed was something that made my priorities visible to me, front and center. Something that would keep me accountable, but do it organically and in a relatively low friction way. So it felt like part of my workflow as opposed to more effort. And that was part of why I built Task Pulse into Task Beacon. That's what I'm calling it. It doesn't force you to do anything. You still have complete freedom to pick whatever task you want to work on, but it removes that plausible deniability. When one task clearly outranks everything else, when its task pulse score is right there in front of you, you can't pretend you don't know what matters. You can still choose to do something else, but now you're making that choice consciously with full understanding of the opportunity cost. That subtle awareness to me changed everything. You will know when you're reaching for easy wins instead of meaningful ones. It also helps make sure that you stay on top of your tasks with due dates without losing focus on the valuable work, not just putting out fires all the time. And that shift, I think, is what real productivity looks like to me. It's not doing more, but doing what matters with purpose. When everything feels important, it's not because everything is, it's because I think we've lost sight of what's important to us. And that's what Task Beacon is trying to do. It doesn't let you lose sight. It keeps what matters most front and center. So we always remember and know what deserves your focus. And if the score seems off, then that's an opportunity to refine it and change some of the priorities that you've plugged in so that it better reflects and presents the tasks that you think are important. And that's one of the nice things because it's consistent in that way and it grows. The paradox of choice doesn't just make us indecisive, it makes us doubt our own judgment. But clarity comes from awareness. And that's what Task Pulse Score and Task Beacon are trying to provide, that clarity, that awareness. Sometimes all you need is some perspective, something that reminds you of what you already knew. So you can finally stop spinning wheels and start doing the right thing at the right time. It is the first time I've talked about the app directly, which felt like a big step since I usually have been focusing on the ideas. And it was a bit of a tough call for me since I wanted to focus on thoughts and theories on productivity and task management without just talking about Task Beacon. But so much of this research has driven and been driven by Task Beacon over the last year that trying to separate the two has felt unnatural to me. If you'd like to see what I've been working on, Task Beacon is currently free on the iOS App Store. So if anyone's open to giving the app a try and letting me know what you think, I'd certainly be thrilled. So thank you, everyone. Take care, and talk to you again in the near future. Bye-bye.